Hey folks, Happy New Year! That's right, it is a new year, and I'm enjoying myself. I recovered pretty good, I think. Not sure, I don't know. The new year hasn't even passed yet. I'm just saying it for the future. But anyway, maybe I'll make it through the new year. You never know, but I got another video for you. And we're going to go ahead and talk about oil changes on Herbie. That 3.7 we put in there. That's right. I got the oil changes from 0 miles all the way up to whatever it is now. It's got to be at least closing in on 15,000 miles. That's right. I've driven Herbie 15,000 miles. I wanted to make sure it ran great for my daughter, and it does, and I gave her the keys. So long, Herbie. Anyway, I got the original oil test that I did a video on in Herbie's engine that came with it, that 3.5 Duratec. Had that failed water pump. Yeah, there's a lot of copper, there's a lot of iron, a lot of aluminum, and a lot of lead. Yeah, that 3.5 was toast, besides the rust on it. But we did do another test. And I drove it. Back then, I did this test in, what was it, July 23rd. And we had run a Valvoline synthetic 5W30 through it for 3,373 miles. This is the break-in oil that we put in there, and I drove it that far. So originally it came out to different levels, and then of course I did another oil change December 8th. Now when I did these oil changes, they were both, let's see, the last one I did on it was, then I changed it from the Valvoline, and then the next oil change I put Triax Synergy SRT 5W30 in it. Okay? I have since changed it. This last time when I did that Triax, I put in, what was it? Edge. I put the Edge oil, Castrol Edge 10W30 in it. So yeah, well, I'll get the oil test later for that, but you know, we need to move on to this. But when I was doing this testing, the last test that I did, I wanted to make sure I get this right here. The test that I did, as far as, what was it? Gosh, I'm losing track what I did. Holy cow, there's a lot of numbers here. As far as the oil test goes, as far as the dates and everything, July and then December. Okay. Now, when I did the test in July, that was the first break-in oil, and that was the Valvoline that we had in there. And aluminum was at 16 parts per million. The chromium was 0. The iron was 26. The copper was 66. And keep in mind, these are all above the universal averages. Lead was 0, the tin was 0, and the molybdenum was 268. Nickel was 0, the manganese was 20, silver, titanium, potassium, or silver and titanium were all 0. The potassium was at 5, and boron was 68. Silicon was 121, sodium was 7, calcium was 1318, magnesium was at 468, and then the phosphorus was at 651, and the zinc was at 732, and the barium was at 2. Now the SUS viscosity at 210 degrees Fahrenheit came out to 55.8. CST viscosity at 100 degrees Celsius was 9.01, and that was right where it needed to be. The flash point was 425, no negligible fuel in there, 0 antifreeze, thank God. Water was 0. Insolubles was a trace, they couldn't even hardly measure it, and the TBN was a healthy 4.5. That's right. And then based on this sample, Blackstone says hello to the new Herbie. The sample tested high the expected places. Metals and silicon were high from wear-in after the rebuild, and that's normal. Look for progress going forward as this stuff washes out. it may take a few oil changes before Herbie looks as good as the averages, which are based on 6,400 mile intervals. But he should get there soon. No fuel dilution, water, or coolant was found, and the TBN tested well at 4.5. Note, we can only track miles or hours, so we went with miles, but if you want to do hours, let us know. And the hours, you know, whatever they were at that point. Now, here we go to the December test on the 3.7. 6 months later, we're doing the test. And then keep in mind, we ran the Triax Synergy SRT 5W30 in it. And they basically said, now this is a nice turnaround. Based on the total mileage drop, we're thinking this Edge got a new engine since the last report. That looks to be just what the doctor ordered. If that's the case, the metals are high, are likely lingering wear in with silicone coming from sealers and lubes. These areas should decrease as the extra material washes out. There isn't any contamination to worry about now, and the insolubles are nice and low. The 2.1 TBN shows additive left. Feel free to run the next fill longer. There should still be progress. And this one had 184 hours or 10,000 miles on it, folks. So yeah, it was pretty hefty on that. But as far as the testing goes, just keep in mind in comparison of what we were doing on this oil. Now, 10,000 miles. Remember this, folks, 10,000 miles on this last oil change, and I'll try to do some comparisons. The last oil change in December read 12 parts per million for aluminum, vice the previous 16. The chromium was 0 for both tests. The iron was at 19, whereas the previous test was 26. The copper was 18, where the previous test was 66. The lead and the tin were both 0 for both tests. The molybdenum was 255 and the previous was 268. The nickel was 0 for both tests, and the manganese was 7 on this last test where it was previously 20. We're getting into the oils now. And silver was 0, and so was the titanium at 0. The potassium was 2 in the latest test with the Triax, vice the 5 that was in the other oil, which is the Valvoline. Boron was at 30 for the Triax, and the actual Valvoline was at 68. Silicon was at 42 for the Triax, and silicon previously is 121. Remember they said it's washing out? Well, that silicon's starting to wash out. As you can see, it's dropped by 60% just about. So yeah, it's a pretty healthy drop as far as what we see in there. The sodium was at 6, whereas previously it was at 7, and then the calcium was at 1253, and previously with the Valvoline it was 1318, which is based on the oils now. And then the magnesium was 443, and the Valvoline previously was 468. And phosphorus is at 612 for the Triax, and it's currently at right now, and then the previous was 651 for the Valvoline. As you can see, the oils make a difference, you know, what their additives are. The zinc in the Triax was 718, and the zinc in the actual Valvoline was 732. The barium is 0 for the Triax, but it was 2 in the Valvoline. SUS viscosity for the Triax was 57.5, and the previously for Valvoline was 55.8. CST viscosity for the Triax was 9.51, and the Valvoline was at 9.01. Flash point for the Triax was 460, whereas the flash point for the Valvoline is 425. Of course, the fuel is the same, water, antifreeze, all 0. And then the insolubles at 0.2 for the Triax, whereas was traced on the Valvoline. And then the TBN was definitely lower because it was a longer run. Remember, 3 times as long, 10,000 miles is 2.1, vice the 4.5 for the 3,000 mile run for the Valvoline. So yeah, this engine is breaking in great, folks. It still has a few high numbers, what they consider high over the universal averages, but this engine is breaking in, and that is where we're at with it right now. And keep in mind that, like I said, we're running that Castrol Edge 10W30. I'm decided to change all of my Duratecs over to 10W30. Why? Because they run better. Yeah, I think they're running better. I think they're getting better protection with the 1030. A lot of what Ford does with their oils, and any car manufacturers, they run their oils to get gas mileage. That's right, at the sacrifice of the engine. So they're sacrificing the engine to get the better gas mileage. I want to save the engine. I want the engine to run good, so I'm bumping everything up to 10W30, just like I did my 2019 EcoBoost 2.0. That's running 540 now. So, and I may bump that up a little higher. So, but right now, I'm thinking engine oils make a difference. But you want to follow along. Again, these files will be in the MeWe group, under files for the engine oil for Herbie. Okay, so there'll be a file there you can find to read these oil reports yourself and follow along what's going on with the oil. I put them right in there, and that way you can follow along. And the only way you're going to see these is if you join me on MeWe. That's right, get over there, join me on MeWe. And also, don't forget Twitter. I put stuff up on Twitter. I am now on Twitter, so you can follow me on Twitter and ask questions, post what you're doing, help me out, help me grow my Twitter following and everything, I guess, as they say. But we want to make sure that we do that. But either way, it is the new year, and I want to wish you all, because this video is probably coming out tomorrow or something. It'll be 1st or 2nd of January time you see it. But I just want to wish you all a happy new year. And hey, my feet hit the floor today. I'm having a great day. I want you to have a great day too. Band of One's got some great music to play for you, and Mercy Girl, as always, is going to tell you what else to do. And have a great new year.
Thank you for watching MacT's videos, and remember to like and subscribe. This is a Mercy Girl production.